Tonight we look into Psalm 66 as part of our devotion. As opposed to Psalm 50, Psalm 66 is a psalm of praise. We don't know from the psalmist what particular circumstances or when this psalm was penned, but we do know is that the psalmist is preparing to offer a sacrifice to God that he swore to do when he called on God to deliver him in his time of distress. And obviously God did indeed deliver him. This psalm can be seen as a worship liturgy for the occasion of the sacrifice of worship. It can really be broken down into four movements. An opening one of 4 verses, which is a simple rendering of praise, Psalm 66 verses 1 through 4. Then a short 3 verses celebrating God's might against his enemies, Psalm 66 verses 5 through 7. Next, a statement in general terms of the deliverance experienced and a description of the sacrifices to be offered for it in Psalm 66, 8 through 15. And finally, an address to the people, calling on them to hearken together with a protestation of sincerity and appeal to God as witnessing to it. That's Psalm 66, verses 16 through 20. This psalm is not accredited to King David, so it was likely written by a later psalmist or king. Yet, like Psalm 50, the psalmist has an innate understanding that his heart must be honest and sincere, free from the great transgression, and that God, in answering his prayer, has affirmed his character, his right relatedness. This again emphasizes the temple sacrifice-based understanding of God and his relationship to his people as their patron, whose actions could be influenced by their right-heartedness and their proper act of worship. This is entirely a works-based relationship, wherein the people must do the proper things to gain God's favor. Yet this must be juxtaposed with Psalm 50, where the Lord himself responds and inverts that relationship and overturns expectations by setting up a system that foreshadows Jesus himself, where the right behavior, the right acts flow out of the sacrifice of God himself, out of the relationship itself. This psalm, while a praise of God for his mighty acts done on the psalmist's behalf, is still set in the temple sacrifice paradigm of salvation, whereas Jesus, as part of the great reversal, supplants this works-based righteousness with one where God is the primary actor, the primary sacrifice, the primary priest, the primary king, and our right-heartedness, or our orthopraxis, right behavior, flows out of, but interestingly, just as the psalmist, out of our recognition of and gratitude for the great things God is doing in and for us. It is an outflow of relationship. It is an outflow of gratitude. It is an outflow of all of this grace. The right behavior, the orthopraxis, the right-heartedness comes. The one does not perceive the other, rather one flows from it. Today, let you and I remember that our right behaviors, our orthopraxis, should flow out of our love of God, our praise of him, our worship of him, and in celebration of all the great things he has done for us. Let's pray. Oh Lord, help us to always remember that your goodness is never dependent upon us, and you have already done all that is necessary for salvation, that we are but recipients of it. Oh Lord, help us to exclaim like the psalmist here, "Blessed be God who has not turned away my prayer, nor his favor from me." In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.